What if I told you the car sitting in your driveway is the product of over a century of mind-blowing breakthroughs, each one changing not just how we drive, but how we live? From the first noisy machines that barely moved faster than a horse, to today's vehicles that can think for themselves, the story of the automobile is a story of constant reinvention. But here's the twist. Many of the biggest changes didn't come when people expected them, and some of the most revolutionary ideas almost never made it onto the road. In this video, we're going to take a ride through history's biggest technological game changers in the automobile industry. Each chapter is a turning point, a moment where cars became safer, faster, smarter, or more accessible to everyone. Buckle up, because this isn't just about cars, it's about the innovations that redefined modern life. Steam and the birth of the automobile. Imagine living in the late 1700s. The fastest thing on the road is a horse carriage, and if you wanted to travel, it was slow, bumpy, and exhausting. Then along comes a French inventor, Nicolas-Joseph Cugnot, who decides to strap a giant steam engine onto a wooden cart. The result? A clunky, three-wheeled machine that puffed smoke, rattled like crazy, and could barely crawl faster than walking speed. But here's the kicker. It moved all on its own. For the first time in history, humans didn't need animals to pull them forward. Fast forward to the late 1800s, and the idea starts to evolve. This is where Karl Benz enters the story. In 1886, he patents something that looks more like a tricycle than a car, but it had something revolutionary under the seat: a gasoline-powered engine. It was noisy, it smelled of fuel, and it needed constant tinkering. But it worked, and it's now remembered as the world's first modern automobile. And here's a fun twist. Electric cars actually appeared around the same time. In fact, by the late 1800s, quiet, battery-powered carriages were rolling through European streets. They didn't roar like gasoline engines, and people loved how smooth they were. But the problem? The batteries just couldn't keep up. They ran out too quickly, and without charging networks, gasoline simply won the race. So this first era of cars, steam, gasoline, and electric, was all about invention and experimentation. Nobody knew what would stick. But these messy, noisy, and sometimes awkward creations set the stage for the automobile revolution that was about to reshape the entire world. Mass production and the affordable car. Okay, so picture this. It's the early 1900s, and cars are still kind of a luxury toy. If you were rich, you could buy one. But for everyone else, it was horses and streetcars. Cars were handmade, slow to build, and insanely expensive. Owning one was like owning a private jet today. Impressive, but way out of reach for most people. Then along comes Henry Ford with a crazy idea. He wasn't trying to make cars fancier. He wanted to make them for everyone. His breakthrough? The moving assembly line in 1913. Instead of a few guys building one car start to finish, the car itself moved down a line while workers each did one specific task. Suddenly, cars were rolling out faster than anyone thought possible. The result was the legendary Model T. At first, it cost about $850, which was still a small fortune back then. But within a few years, thanks to mass production, the price dropped to less than half of that. Imagine something going from being a millionaire's toy to something a regular factory worker could save up for. That's what Ford did. And the ripple effect? Huge. Families could suddenly take road trips. Workers could live farther from the factories and still commute in. Gas stations, motels, diners. Entire industries popped up just because so many more people were driving. This was the moment cars stopped being a symbol of wealth and started becoming part of everyday life. The automobile wasn't just invented in this chapter, it was democratized, and that changed everything. Innovation between the wars. So, by the 1920s, cars were everywhere. The novelty was gone. Now people wanted them to be safer, smoother, and a little less terrifying to drive. Remember, early cars were basically rattling boxes on wheels with weak brakes and zero safety features. You hit something? Good luck. Enter the next wave of breakthroughs. One of the biggest game changers was hydraulic brakes. Instead of relying on clunky mechanical levers and rods, these brakes used fluid pressure, giving drivers way more stopping power and control. Suddenly, bringing a car to a halt didn't feel like a gamble. Then came shatterproof safety glass. Before this, if a windshield cracked, it shattered into dangerous shards. Imagine flying knives right in your face. With laminated glass, the shards stuck together, drastically reducing injuries. It seems basic now, but back then it was revolutionary. Car makers also started experimenting with independent suspension systems, which meant each wheel could move separately. That made rides smoother and less like being tossed around in a wagon. Combine that with all-steel bodies replacing the old wooden frames, and cars became sturdier and more reliable. And let's not forget style. Designers started thinking about aerodynamics, streamlining shapes so cars looked sleek and modern instead of boxy. Radios even started sneaking into dashboards, turning cars into rolling entertainment machines. This era was all about refinement. Cars weren't just machines anymore. They were becoming comfortable, safe, and stylish companions. The groundwork was being laid for the car to not only be practical, but something people could genuinely enjoy driving. Post-war boom and new conveniences. The 1940s ended with the world rebuilding, and the car industry was ready to explode. After years of rationing and war production, people wanted comfort, freedom, and style, and cars became the ultimate symbol of that. If the 1920s gave us safety and the 1930s gave us smoother rides, the post-war years delivered convenience. One of the biggest breakthroughs? Automatic transmissions. Before this, driving meant constantly working the clutch and shifting gears, which could be intimidating, especially in traffic. But now, cars could shift themselves. You just pressed the gas and went. Suddenly, driving was accessible to everyone, not just people who mastered the art of gear shifting. Then came power steering and power brakes. These made handling big, heavy cars so much easier, especially for families who wanted comfort more than a workout every time they turned the wheel. Add in air conditioning, and now you had cars that weren't just transportation, but little bubbles of comfort on wheels. And let's not forget the culture. The 1950s gave us cars with giant fins, shiny chrome, and bold colors. Vehicles that screamed optimism and freedom. Families piled in for road trips along newly built highways, diners and motels popped up everywhere, and the idea of the American dream often came with a shiny new car in the driveway. This chapter wasn't just about technology, it was about lifestyle. Cars had gone from noisy, practical machines to stylish, comfortable companions that defined an entire era of prosperity and freedom. The safety and emissions era, 1960s to 1970s. By the 1960s, cars were everywhere. But there was a catch. They were powerful, stylish, and fun, but also dangerous and dirty. Crashes were deadly, smog was choking cities, and for the first time, people started asking, are cars doing us more harm than good? This pushed the industry into a new wave of breakthroughs. First, safety. In 1959, Volvo unveiled the three-point seatbelt, the same design we still use today. It was simple, cheap, and it saved lives, millions of them. Around the same time, Mercedes-Benz introduced the idea of crumple zones. Instead of a rigid steel body that transferred crash energy straight to passengers, parts of the car were designed to absorb the impact, protecting people inside. These weren't just clever ideas. They completely redefined how cars were built. Meanwhile, governments started stepping in. The US required seatbelts, padded dashboards, and other safety standards by law. Europe followed. For the first time, car makers weren't just competing on speed and style. They were competing on who could keep you alive. But safety wasn't the only concern. Cities like Los Angeles were drowning in smog, and tailpipe emissions were a huge part of the problem. In 1975, American cars started rolling out with catalytic converters, devices that filtered out toxic gases from exhaust pipes. It was a massive step toward cleaner air and soon became a global standard. So this era was a turning point. Cars had to grow up. They couldn't just be flashy and fast, they had to be responsible. And while drivers might not have cheered for seatbelts or emission controls at the time, these innovations quietly made driving far safer and cleaner for generations to come. Electronics and the computerized car, 1980s and 1990s. By the 1980s, something new was sneaking under the hood. Computers. Cars were no longer just mechanical machines. They were becoming electronic, and that changed everything. The first big leap was in engine management. Instead of relying on carburetors and guesswork to mix fuel and air, cars started using electronic fuel injection controlled by microchips. That meant better fuel economy, more power, and fewer breakdowns. Suddenly, your car wasn't just a machine, it was thinking about how to run itself more efficiently. Then came ABS, anti-lock braking systems. Before ABS, if you slammed the brakes too hard, your wheels locked up and you skidded like you were on ice. With ABS, tiny sensors and a computer pulsed the brakes faster than any human could, keeping the wheels turning just enough for you to steer to safety. This was futuristic stuff at the time, and today it's standard in almost every car. And remember those airbags we talked about in the 70s? By the 90s, they were everywhere. Driver airbags, passenger airbags, these electronic safety nets became lifesavers in crashes. Combined with better crash testing and computer-designed frames, cars were becoming safer than ever. Oh, and the 1990s also gave us a taste of the digital dashboard. Some cars replaced traditional dials with glowing screens and even voice alerts. Cheesy? Maybe? But it showed where things were heading. Cars weren't just getting smarter under the hood, they were starting to interact with us. This chapter was the birth of the smart car era. Electronics took control of fuel, brakes, safety systems, and even displays, setting the stage for the high-tech vehicles we drive today. A hybrid and electric renaissance, 1990s to 2010s. By the late 1990s, something big was bubbling in the auto world. People were starting to worry about gas prices, pollution, and climate change. The question was clear: could cars keep their freedom and power without burning so much fuel? Enter the Toyota Prius in 1997. At first, people weren't sure what to make of it. A car that ran on both gasoline and electricity? It sounded complicated, maybe even a gimmick. But the idea worked. Hybrids delivered incredible fuel economy, and suddenly, efficiency was cool. Celebrities in Hollywood started driving Priuses to red carpet events, not flashy sports cars, as a statement. That was a cultural shift. Meanwhile, another revolution was brewing. In the 2000s, a scrappy startup named Tesla came along with a bold mission: prove that electric cars could be fast, fun, and stylish. Their first Roadster shocked people. It wasn't slow or boring. It was a sports car that could leave gas-powered rivals in the dust. Then came the Model S, with long range and futuristic tech, showing the world that EVs could compete head-to-head with luxury cars. Governments joined in too. Subsidies, tax credits, and charging stations began popping up across the globe. Big automakers, once skeptical, scrambled to launch their own hybrids and EVs. For the first time since the early 1900s, electricity was back in the driver's seat, but this time with batteries powerful enough to make it stick. This wasn't just about saving gas. It was about reimagining what cars could be: quiet, clean, and still thrilling to drive. The hybrid and electric boom marked the start of a new chapter in mobility, one that's still rewriting the future today. The era of autonomy and connectivity, 2000s and present. If hybrids and electric vehicles were the warm-up, the 2000s kicked off the real sci-fi era of cars. Suddenly, vehicles weren't just machines you drove, they were computers on wheels. Think about it. GPS became standard, cars started syncing with your phone, and infotainment systems turned dashboards into glowing control centers. For the first time, your car wasn't just getting you from point A to B. It was connected to the digital world around you. But the real jaw-dropper? Autonomous driving. What once sounded like science fiction, cars driving themselves, slowly became reality. It started small, with adaptive cruise control that automatically adjusted your speed, lane keeping assist that nudged you back if you drifted, and automatic emergency braking that could save you in a split second. These driver assistance features became the everyday stepping stones to something bigger: self-driving cars. Companies like Google, Tesla, and major automakers began testing fully autonomous vehicles. Some can now navigate highways, city streets, even complex traffic, all without a human touching the wheel. We're not at the point of kicking back with a nap in the back seat just yet, but every year we inch closer. And here's the kicker: the car is no longer just about driving. With over-the-air software updates, your vehicle can literally improve overnight. It can gain new features, fix bugs, or get safer, without you ever stepping foot in a garage. That's a breakthrough no one could have imagined 50 years ago. This era is still being written, but one thing's clear: cars are no longer just transportation. They're smart, connected, and edging closer to driving themselves. And if history has taught us anything, the next breakthrough is probably right around the corner. From steam-powered wagons that could barely crawl down a street to sleek electric cars that can update their own software, the automobile has been a constant story of reinvention. Every breakthrough, mass production, safer designs, computers, hybrids, and now autonomy, didn't just change cars, it changed us. It reshaped how we live, where we work, how cities grew, and even how we think about freedom and mobility. And here's the exciting part: the story isn't finished. Right now, we're living through the next wave. Electric revolutions, AI-driven vehicles, and technologies we can barely imagine. Just like Karl Benz or Henry Ford couldn't predict self-driving cars, we can't fully see what's next. But one thing is certain. The car has never stood still, and it never will. So next time you start your engine, or maybe just press that quiet little start button, remember you're sitting inside more than just a car. You're inside centuries of breakthroughs, and the next chapter of history is riding right alongside you.